Namaste Bitya, Hamisha Khush Raho Bitya. Myself Dr. Rati. Today we are going to discuss with the malignant tumors of the breast. Carcinoma of the breast. Cancer of the female breast is uh, uh, commonest among human cancers throughout the world. Its incidence varies in different countries. In US, carcinoma of breast constitute about 25% of all cancers in female. However, there has been some decline in mortality from the breast cancer in recent years in developed countries due to both early diagnosis and modern therapy. Currently, the emphasis is on early diagnosis by triple technique, that is palpation, mammography, and FNAC. Additional techniques such as sclerotactic biopsy, frozen section are immensely valuable to the surgeon for immediate pathological diagnosis in doubtful cases. Now, what is the risk factor? The risk factor is the geographical and racial factors. This is the incidence of breast cancer is about higher in developed countries, intermediate in southern Europe, and lower in developing countries. Family history should be there. That is a first degree relative if mother, sister, and daughter of the woman with breast cancer having 2 to 6 fold high risk of development. Then menstrual and obstetric history, total length of menstrual life is directly related to the increased risk. The fibrocystic change, the fibrocystic change particularly when associated with atypical epithelial hyperplasia has about 5-fold higher risk of developing breast cancer subsequently. Now the miscellaneous factors are also there, that is the consumption of large amount of animal fat, high calorie food, cigarette smoking, alcohol consumption, breast augmentation surgery, high breast density and exposure to ionized radiation during the breast development. What is the etiopathogenesis? Overall, two major etiological factors are responsible, that is the hormonal and second one is a genetic. Hormonal factors in breast cancer is a hormone dependent disease. There is a sufficient evidence of suggest excess endogenous estrogen and exogenously administered estrogen for prolonged duration is an important factor in the development of breast cancer. Evidence in support of relationship of increased risk with estrogen excess are as follow. That is, a woman with prolonged reproductive life with menarche setting in an early age and menopause relatively late. Unmarried and nulliparous women than in married and multiparous women. Women with first childbirth at late age and lactation and breastfeeding reduces the risk, and bilateral oophorectomy reduces the risk. Functioning ovarian tumors, that is a granulosa cell tumor which elaborate estrogen, are associated with increased incidence of breast cancer. The hormone replacement therapy administered to postmenopausal women may result high risk. Long-term use of OCPs containing balanced estrogen progesterone preparation do not pose increased risk. Men who have been treated with estrogen for prosthetic cancer have increased risk of developing cancer of the male breast. Genetic factor include the 10% of breast cancer are having some inherited mutation, that is BRCA1 mutation, BRCA2 gene mutation. In BRCA1 as well as 2, both copies of genes must be inactivated for development of breast cancer. Mutation in the P53 tumor suppressive gene. General features and classification. Anatomically, upper outer quadrant is a site of tumor in half of the breast cancer, followed in frequency by central portion equally in the remaining both lower and upper inner quadrant. Carcinoma of the breast arises from the ductal epithelium in 90% cases, while the remaining 10% originate from lobular epithelium. For variable period of time, the tumor cells remain confined within the ducts or lobules before they invade the breast stroma, while only two types of non-invasive carcinoma have been described, that is the intraductal carcinoma and lobular carcinoma in situ. There is a great variety of histological pattern of invasive carcinoma breast which have clinical correlation and prognostic implication as follows. Non-invasive in situ carcinoma, that is the intraductal carcinoma, lobular carcinoma in situ. Invasive carcinoma is an infiltrating duct carcinoma. infiltrating lobular carcinoma, tubular carcinoma, medullary carcinoma, colloidal carcinoma, and other types are also there. There is one more thing, this is called the Paget's disease of nipple. We will discuss one by one. Non-invasive in situ breast carcinoma, intraductal carcinoma. Carcinoma in situ confined within the larger mammary duct is called intraductal carcinoma. The tumor initially begins with the atypical hyperplasia of ductal epithelium followed by filling of the duct with tumor cell. Clinically, it produces a palpable mass in 75% of the cases and presence of nipple discharge in about 30% cases. If we will talk about the general examination, the tumor may vary from the small, poorly defined focus to 3 to 5 centimeter diameter mass. On cut section, the involved area shows cystically dilated ducts containing cheesy necrotic material on, or the intraductal tumor may be polypoid and friable resembling intraductal papilloma. Microscopic examination show ductal lumina may have four pattern, that is solid pattern, that is characterized by filling and plugging of the ductal lumina with tumor cell. Comedo pattern, centrally placed necrotic debris with surrounding by neoplastic cells. Papillary pattern, formation of intraductal papillary projection of the tumor cell which lack a fibrovascular stalk or so to distinguish it from the intraductal papilloma. Cribriform pattern is recognized by neat punched out penetration in the intradermal tumor. Second is the invasive breast carcinoma and infiltrating duct carcinoma. Infiltrating duct carcinoma knows is the classic breast cancer that is the most common histological pattern accounting for 80% of breast cancer. Clinically, majority of infiltrating duct carcinoma have a hard consistency due to the dense collagenous stroma. In general feature, tumor is irregular 1 to 5 centimeter, hard cartilage-like mass that cuts with grated sound. The suction surface of the tumor is gray-white to yellow with chalky streaks and often extend irregularly into the surrounding fat. Microscopic examination, as the name suggests, the tumor is different from other special type in lacking a regular and uniform pattern throughout the lesion. A variety of histological features, anaplastic tumor cell forming solid nest cord, poorly formed glandular structure, and some intraductal foci. The infiltration by these pattern of tumor cell into the diffuse fibrous stroma and fat. Invasive invasion into the perivascular and perinuclear spaces as well as lymphatic and vascular invasion. Last one, that is a Paget's disease of nipple. It is a eczematoid lesion of the nipple, often associated with invasive and non-invasive ductal carcinoma of the underlying breast. The nipple bears a crusted, scaly, eczematoid lesion with a palpable subalveolar mass in about half the cases. The most of the patients with palpable mass are found to have infiltrating duct carcinoma, while those with no palpable breast lump are usually subsequently found to have intraductal carcinoma. General feature, the skin of the nipple and areola is crusted, fissured, and ulcerated with oozing of serosanguinous fluid. Microscopic examination skin lesion is characterized by presence of Paget cells, singly or small clusters in epidermis. These cells are larger than the epidermal cell, spherical, having hyperchromatic nuclei with cytoplasmic halo, with stain positively with muci carmine. In addition, the underlying breast contain invasive or non-invasive duct carcinoma, which shows no obvious direct lesions of the skin of nipple. Now we will talk about the grading, staging, and prognosis of the breast cancer. Histological grading of breast cancer are subdivided into various histological grades depending upon following parameter. Histological, this is divided into three types. One is a non-metastatizing, if there is an intraductal and lobular carcinoma in situ. Less commonly metastatizing like medullary, colloidal, capillary, tubular, adenoid, cystic, and secretory carcinomas. And commonly metastatizing, that is the infiltrating duct and invasive lobular and inflammatory carcinomas. Microscopic grades, widely used system of microscopic grading of the breast carcinoma is Nottingham modification of Bloom-Richardson system. It is based on three features: tubular formation, nuclear pleomorphism, and mitotic count. Then the tumor size, there is a generally an inverse relationship between the diameter of primary breast cancer at the time of mastectomy and long-term survival. Sorry. The axillary lymph node metastasis, more the number of regional lymph node involved, worse is the survival rate. Involvement of the lymph node from proximal to distal axilla is directly correlated with the survival rate. In this regard, the identification and dissection of sentinel lymph node followed by its histological examination has attained immense prognostic value. Estrogen and progesterone receptors are there, known to promote the breast cancer. Presence and absence of these hormone receptor on the tumor cell can help in predicting the response of breast cancer to endocrine therapy. Accordingly, patients with high level of ER and PR on breast tumor cell have highly better prognosis. HER2 and overexpression. This is an individual having overexpression of HER2 new by tumor cell. This is a gene likely to respond to higher dose of herceptin therapy. This is not related to other form of chemotherapy. DNA content, tumor cells subpopulation with aneuploid DNA content and evaluating by mitotic markers. Then clinical staging, the American Joint Committee and Primary Tumor Nodal and Distant Metastasis TNM system proposed by UICC Union International of Control of Cancer. The spread of cancer, breast cancer to axillary lymph node occur early. Later, however, distant spread by lymphatic route to internal mammary lymphatic, mediastinal lymph node, supraclavicular lymph node, pleural lymphatic may occur. Common sites for hematogenous metastatic spread from breast cancer are lung, liver, bone, adrenal, brain, and ovary. Then what is the prognostic factors in the breast? This is potentially pre-malignant lesion, atypical ductal hyperplasia, clinging carcinoma is related to lesion in the duct, and fibroadenoma is long-term risk factor. And what breast carcinoma in situ are the ductal carcinoma in situ is diagnosed on the basis of three histological features: nuclear grade, nuclear morphology, and necrosis, while lobular neoplasia include full spectrum of changes of lobular carcinoma in situ and atypical lobular hyperplasia. Breast conservative therapy is used more frequently nowadays in carcinoma in situ, while requires consideration of three factors of management: margin, extent of disease, and biological markers. This is a reference. I hope you enjoy this session. Any query, please mention it in comment box. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.